The streets are quiet. The city hums softly under streetlights. And then a sound cuts through the night. Not a roar, not a growl, just a sharp, almost electric hum, and a flash of light.
A car.
But it's not ordinary. It's small,
Compact.
almost unassuming. Yet somehow, impossibly, it seems to command the road. A single headlight glints in the rearview mirror of another car. The driver blinks, confused. Something about its movement, its speed, doesn't add up. Because this tiny machine is moving like a bullet, accelerating faster than anything its size should allow. It hugs corners tighter than physics seems to allow. It disappears into the shadows, and then reappears, weaving between lanes effortlessly. This is Maxwell Chikumbutso's world, where small isn't weak, where compact doesn't mean ordinary, where limits don't exist. Voiceover, calm but intense. Imagine a car so small it slips through traffic like a shadow, yet so powerful it leaves full-size supercars behind. This is the revolution Maxwell has been building quietly, one vehicle at a time. Cut to footage of the workshop. Small chassis lined up like soldiers. Hands moving over each frame with precision. Welds sparkling under fluorescent lights. Engineers checking batteries, motors, and compact drive systems. Every detail screams efficiency. Every component optimized for maximum performance. Because Maxwell isn't just building cars. He's redefining what compact means. Inside one of these vehicles, sensors light up. Dashboard glowing with futuristic displays. Acceleration controls finely tuned. A single push on the pedal sends the car forward. And in that moment, physics itself feels challenged. The car rockets down the test track. Corners? Nothing slows it down. Straights? It disappears like lightning. Observers gape. Did it just do that? Even seasoned engineers shake their heads. Because Maxwell's compact cars are doing something the world hasn't seen before. Packing massive power into a tiny frame. Electric.
Silent.
Relentless. And while traditional automakers focus on size and luxury, Maxwell focuses on precision, energy, and pure speed. A montage rolls. Cars darting through city streets. Narrow alleys conquered effortlessly. Tight parking spaces no longer an obstacle. Each vehicle a statement. Small can dominate. And then a curious thing happens. A group of competitors watches from afar. They expected a novelty, a gimmick, something to ignore. Instead, they witness a tiny car doing what full-size sports cars can barely match. Acceleration tests, cornering, battery endurance. And suddenly, the industry realizes, Maxwell isn't just making cars. He's rewriting the rules. He's proving that compact doesn't mean compromise. It means innovation, efficiency, freedom. The camera pans across a row of these compact marvels, glinting under workshop lights, engines humming softly.
Small, yes.
But terrifyingly capable. Every curve, every panel, every circuit, designed to defy expectation. And as the first production-ready units roll out onto city streets, drivers experience something unexpected. Not just speed, not just agility, but confidence, control, empowerment. Because these cars, small as they may be, make you feel like you own the road. And somewhere in the back of the factory, Maxwell is already sketching the next evolution. Smaller? Maybe. Faster? Definitely. More insane? Almost certainly. Because this isn't just compact engineering. This is Maxwell Chikumbutso breaking every limit, one tiny, powerful car at a time. And the road isn't waiting. It stretches ahead, empty, endless, begging for speed. A tiny Maxwell car rolls forward, lights cutting through the pre-dawn fog. The driver presses the accelerator. Nothing mechanical about the motion. Just smooth, precise thrust. Corners tighten. The car leans gracefully, tires gripping asphalt like glue. Other cars try to follow.
And fail.
They aren't just slower. They're irrelevant. Because Maxwell's engineering doesn't rely on brute force. It relies on intelligence. Every motor, every battery pack, every wheel calculated. Energy flows where it's needed. Weight distributed perfectly.
Compact, yes.
But smarter. And suddenly, a curious onlooker appears at a traffic light. A pedestrian. A cyclist. Even they can't stop staring. What is that? It looks like a toy. Almost cute. But the moment it accelerates away, they realize it's anything but small. The hum of the electric motor lingers in their ears like a promise. Power doesn't need size. Precision beats raw mass. And inside the vehicle, the driver grins. Hands relaxed. Eyes scanning. Heart racing. Not from fear. Not from struggle. But from exhilaration. Because every turn, every straightaway, every reaction feels effortless. The city becomes a playground. Alleys no longer obstacles. Parking lots no longer problems. Traffic lights merely suggestions. The camera zooms out. From above, the tiny car darts between full-size sedans and trucks. It's almost playful. A flash of red paint weaving like a lightning bolt. The montage continues. Test tracks. Open highways. Rain-soaked streets. All conquered. All dominated. And as more of these compact marvels hit the streets, people start to notice. Media cameras follow. Car enthusiasts line the roads. Competitors scramble. What engine is that? What battery system allows that? What magic lets a car this small outperform everything else? The answer? No magic. Just vision. Maxwell Chikumbutso's vision. And as the sun rises over the city skyline, the first production units line up outside the factory.
Shiny. Compact.
Deadly efficient. Ready to take on the world. And Maxwell doesn't stop there.
Plans.
Sketches. Designs. Another iteration.
Smaller. Faster.
Wilder. Because breaking limits isn't a one-time achievement. It's a commitment. A promise. And as the first fleet of compact cars rolls off into the streets, one thought becomes clear. Size doesn't define power. Innovation does. Control does. And the road. The road belongs to those who dare to defy every expectation. The tiny Maxwell car disappears into the horizon, a small silhouette against the rising sun. But its impact? Massive. Unforgettable. And somewhere in the workshop, another prototype waits. Even smaller. Even faster. Even more impossible. Because Maxwell Chikumbutso doesn't just build cars. He builds the future, one compact, insane, unstoppable machine at a time. The workshop is quiet now, but not idle. Lights hum softly over rows of chassis waiting for their turn. Blueprints cover tables, sketches of vehicles smaller and faster than anything seen before. Engineers move like dancers around the machines, calibrating motors, adjusting battery modules, and testing new materials. Maxwell stands at the center, hands behind his back, studying every detail. Every car tells a story. Every curve, every seam, every wire a testament to a vision most people thought was impossible. He doesn't speak. He doesn't need to. The future is happening right in front of him. Outside, the streets are alive with activity. Tiny Maxwell cars glide past traffic. They weave between lanes, darting like sparks across asphalt. People stop and stare. Some record with their phones. Some cheer. Some shake their heads in disbelief. A small child tugs at a parent's sleeve, pointing. Look at that one. The parent laughs, equally amazed. And somewhere across the city, engineers track performance in real time. Battery efficiency, cornering metrics, energy recovery data. Each car connected. Each car learning. Each car improving. It isn't just driving anymore. It's evolution. The tiny cars adapt to every road, every curve, every condition. Rain-slicked streets, potholes, traffic jams. They handle it all flawlessly. A convoy forms naturally. 5, 10, 15 tiny cars moving together. Not chaotic. Not reckless. Perfectly synchronized, almost alive. The hum of electric motors fills the air, soft but unmistakable. The city watches. Everyone feels it. Something new is here. Something powerful but subtle. Something small but unstoppable. And somewhere back in the workshop, a new idea is being sketched. Even smaller. Even smarter. Even more unimaginable. Because Maxwell isn't just thinking about cars. He's thinking about movement. He's thinking about freedom. He's thinking about changing the way the world drives. Forever. The sun climbs higher. The tiny fleet continues to move, leaving trails of wonder behind. And yet, the best is still to come. And the tiny fleet keeps moving, cutting through the morning light like liquid silver. Pedestrians pause. Drivers slow down. Streetlights glint off polished metal. The city feels different somehow. Like it's waking up to something it wasn't ready for. Inside one of the cars, the driver smiles. Hands relaxed on the wheel. Eyes scanning the road. Not because it's easy, but because for the first time, driving feels effortless. The car hugs the curves naturally, responds instantly to commands. Every sensor, every motor, every line of code working in perfect harmony. And somewhere above, drones hover silently, capturing every moment. A cinematic shot from above shows dozens of compact Maxwell cars darting through streets and highways. From this height, they almost look like swarms of futuristic fireflies, glowing, alive, moving with purpose. Then a sudden curve approaches, a sharp bend, a trick road where most vehicles would slow. Not these. The cars lean gracefully. The tires grip. The acceleration pulses just enough to carry each car through like it was designed to defy physics.
People on the sidewalks gasp.
Some whisper. Some point. Even seasoned drivers shake their heads. Because the impossible just became visible. Back in the factory, Maxwell studies a holographic map of the city. Each represents a vehicle moving in real time. Traffic data, battery life, route optimization, all displayed with precision. He traces a finger over the routes.
Smarter. Faster.
More efficient, he mutters. But the hum of possibility is louder than the words. Outside, the cars begin to merge onto a highway. Now a convoy. Smooth, silent, unstoppable. Cars around them seem almost static in comparison. They can't catch up. They can barely comprehend it. And then, as the convoy stretches into the horizon, something remarkable happens. The fleet begins to adapt collectively. Cars switch lanes seamlessly, react to obstacles without hesitation. They flow like a single organism. The camera pans down to street level. A delivery driver watches in disbelief. A commuter stares through their windshield. And a young child points, laughing.
Mom.
Look at them. They're alive. And in a quiet corner of the city, engineers in Maxwell's team whisper excitedly over their screens. This is just the beginning. Because they know what's coming next. Even smaller. Even faster. Even more unthinkable. And somewhere on the horizon, the skyline glows as the sun rises. The tiny Maxwell cars roll forward, silently changing the rules of the road. The hum of electric power fills the air, subtle but undeniable. And one thought begins to sink in. The world isn't ready for this. But the world will have to adapt. Because Maxwell Chikumbutso isn't just building cars. He's building the future one small, insane, unstoppable vehicle at a time. The tiny Maxwell cars slice through the city streets, but now the world begins to notice beyond just the locals. News drones capture every movement, live streams go viral, and online forums explode with curiosity and disbelief. Are these cars even real? Did Maxwell just make the impossible? Meanwhile, traffic engineers scramble to understand the phenomenon. The small cars weave through lanes with near-perfect efficiency. Battery monitors display hundreds of kilometers remaining, while large trucks still guzzle diesel at every stop. Every curve, every maneuver, every silent acceleration, a statement that size doesn't dictate power. At a roundabout, a competitor's sleek supercar tries to keep up. It doesn't. It can't. The Maxwell cars slip past, tiny shadows overtaking giants with ease. In a quiet workshop far away, Maxwell sketches the next generation. Even smaller, even lighter, even more aggressive in design. One engineer glances at the designs, awestruck. Is it possible to make it any faster? Maxwell doesn't answer. He simply sketches another battery layout, another motor configuration, another aerodynamic tweak. Outside, the city skyline is bathed in early morning sunlight. The fleet continues to glide through streets, now forming convoys. Patterns emerge naturally, small but strategic formations, almost alive, almost intelligent. Delivery drivers notice their routes are suddenly being dominated. Fleet managers start rethinking logistics. And for the first time, drivers of traditional cars feel something unfamiliar, fear and awe at the same time. The tiny cars are no longer just vehicles. They are symbols. Symbols of innovation. Symbols of what is possible when someone refuses to accept limits. At a test track on the outskirts of the city, engineers unleash a new prototype. The car accelerates from 0 to 100 in record time. Corners like it's on rails. Even the wind seems to obey it. A camera follows in slow motion, tires gripping asphalt, body tilting just enough, lights reflecting off the sleek surface. And the driver smiles. Not because he's winning, not because he's competing, but because he feels freedom. The car responds to thought, almost intuitively. Every motion fluid, every reaction perfect. And as the fleet of compact Maxwell cars merges into the highway at dawn, stretching toward the horizon, one realization hits every observer. This isn't just transportation. This isn't just speed. This is a new era of mobility. The small has become powerful. The quiet has become unstoppable. And Maxwell? He's already sketching the next chapter. Because the world isn't ready. But he is. And the road ahead? It's about to get insanely fast. The highway stretches endlessly into the horizon. The tiny Maxwell cars glide silently, almost like shadows racing the sunrise. Pedestrians stop and stare. Drivers slow down, mouths open in disbelief. Even the tallest trucks feel small in their presence. The hum of electric motors fills the air, soft, precise, unstoppable. And then the convoy begins to expand. More cars join. More designs roll out. Even smaller, even faster, each one perfectly engineered. The city feels alive in a new way. Streets are no longer just roads. They are stages for innovation, for progress, for a future that refuses to wait. Inside one of the compact cars, a driver laughs softly. Hands relaxed on the wheel, eyes scanning the horizon. He feels freedom. He feels power. Not the kind measured in engine size or horsepower, but true control. The fleet continues into the sunrise, a symphony of tiny, powerful machines moving in perfect harmony. From above, they look like fireflies racing across steel veins of the city. And somewhere in the workshop, Maxwell sketches again. The next generation. The impossible next. Because limits exist only for those who accept them. And Maxwell Chikumbutso? He doesn't accept limits. The camera pulls back slowly, showing the endless highway, the tiny yet unstoppable fleet, the sun rising over the city, casting long shadows, golden light glinting off every sleek surface. A quiet, powerful voiceover closes. Sometimes the smallest things leave the biggest mark. And sometimes the future comes in the tiniest packages. Fade to black.